Hello and welcome back. This is What's Your Passion number 44. Today we're talking about leadership and personalities. When I went through my BBA and MBA program, we studied a lot of human behavior, psychology courses like that. And it was always a discussion, is it nature or nurture, genetics versus environment? And from what I've seen, genetics count and environment counts. And so people will be asking a question, well, are you stuck with the hand you've been dealt? What about IQ, EQ, emotional quotient, things like that, and street smarts? Is it really both and not either or? Can choice leverage both? Because I actually believe it is a both and not an either or. Choice does overcome both. In today's blog post, I share the video of Nick. He's the guy that doesn't really have arms or legs, and yet he's led a very interesting life. He's a motivational speaker. He used to give speeches all over the world. And from what I've seen, through sheer willpower and choice, he's overcome both the genetics that he was given and the fact that the environment we live in is really not set up for someone with his type of challenges. So I've seen too many examples of personality profiles where you run somebody through the test and something traumatic happens in their life and they'll do a complete switch. And so had that happen early on in my career, working at a company where we hired a salesperson, he should have been able to talk a hungry dog off the meat wagon and the dog would have thought it got a great deal. And for the first 6 months, that's exactly what he was doing. But then suddenly, around 6 months into working with us, he completely went south. I don't know what else to call it. He went from being the best salesperson I'd ever seen to being completely dysfunctional. So we had the personality testing company test him again. And they came back and they said, wow, if you put these side by side, you'd say that these are two completely different individuals. And we're like, yes, exactly. And so they asked us to go back and check, find out had anything traumatic happened in his life during the past 6 months. And it turned out he was having an incredibly nasty divorce. They were fighting over everything, even down to the dog. And so eventually he decided to move on and do other things, became an entrepreneur himself, and ended up having a great career from best I can tell. I still keep track of him via social media. So when you're looking at it, at personality, my recommendation is don't get into the either or arguments. It is a both and. It's both genetics and its environment. If you've ever held any number of newborn babies in your arms and spent any time with them, you'll see immediately they each have a different personality and it's built in right from the start. But we're all products of our environment or victims of our environment. And ultimately, in the end, while we don't necessarily control the first two, we do control this outer circle. And this outer circle is so powerful. This is what people can use to rise above whatever they've been dealt in their life. This is What's Your Passion number 44. My name is Andrew Kallman, and we'll talk with you again soon.